Okay, my GPU crashed. Linux. Okay, open source crap. So yeah. Mm, I was trying to show you the scattering thing and yeah, it's GPU failed because it didn't just OBS crashed but the entire X server that hosted the entire thing crashed with and threw me back into like login screen and the XDM screen. And Dmask is full of like GPU crash crap. So yeah, it's like yeah. GPU reset. And OBS crashed only after that. Like, what the hell happened to the GPU? Illegal register access in Comet Stream. Whatever that means. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, I don't think that I should go into much detail how it's made. Like, it's just a simple scattering thing plus Raymarcher for the Voronoi-based city landscape, really unfinished, and every timeline is done just in shader, like camera position and stuff like this, really straightforward. And we had to remove a few of the camera key points before because we ran out of space. So it's a little bit more dull than it was expected to be. And they're also code for like making windows in buildings, like to make a proper night scene. And this was also like disabled, not removed, disabled, because we didn't have time to tweak it properly. And yeah. So yeah. I think I will be making a final version of that, and maybe I will stream at least part of that, but I'm not sure. I will talk a bit about this later. В Linux также все еще валит иксы, печалька. So yeah, this not actually a... maybe it can be done, like not crashing the entire X thing, but this, I don't think that is straightforward to do, because you're really leaving a process in a state that it has handles to like driver thing, which is not valid anymore. So like it's really complex to handle. Like Windows, because it has a lot of control of its internal infrastructure, and it's like made by one company, and like it's really cohesive, it can like make some architectural decisions to make it work. But on Linux, I think it's like too difficult to do. GPU can crash for a lot of reasons. Like it's a very complex piece of hardware and software, and like it's like this. There are so many ways to crash it. Wayland. I'm not sure. I had my hopes for Wayland, but then I read more about it, and I'm really disappointed at what they are doing. Like, they had a really great opportunity to revamp this entire thing and make it like engineeringly consistent and secure and a lot of this, but for some reason they didn't make anything good, basically, and I'm disappointed. I won't go into details because I'm not ready to like explain, and yeah. So X11 is okay for now because I don't believe there's anything significantly better than it. Okay, so the next one is 8K. I will show you my 8K, not my, like our, the thing that we did with Keen, and he made the music, which is really great. He made a lot of effort to make decent music, and I made the visuals. So just beforehand, also like under the Jetlag name, and yeah, 8K is a lot of space. The party version that we made was like 6 kilobytes and like 6.2 kilobytes or something like this. We really had like 1.5 kilobytes to spare. Like we didn't even have enough time or like ideas to most of the time. We had a lot of ideas. We didn't have enough time to like fill it with data, and we made almost zero effort to make it small. Like we had a C version, like it was written in C, not even in assembly. For timeline data, it contained just straight floats, all for the like just a big array of floats, and we didn't make any effort to make it smaller. Like there were ideas of doing like delta coding or some like normalization into like 16 or even 8-bit values. We didn't even need to do that. Like it's a lot of space. 8K is an insane amount of space. And yeah, we worked on this intro for 3 or 4 weeks. Not really, like I think I started doing tooling for it and making some progress like early March, but then yeah, worked on it for a couple of weeks and in my like very limited spare time, and then I got sick, and for 2 weeks I made almost zero progress, and it was like hastily finished on the party, and we still had to like update it after the deadline, because yeah, the version that we had submitted contained some it basically didn't have the timeline implemented, because like basically I forgot to like compile it in, and it just contained all the entire music. The music was there, and basically cameras took on into the one place, and I have to update that, and then music was crashing, so we had to fix that too. For some stupid reason, I believe, like I forgot just to play, click rebuild or something, just to clean the project or something like this. Some dependency issue. So yeah, let me show you the thing. Yeah, and music is really slow to generate, so we sleep for 20 seconds and let music pre-buffer. So yeah, this is it. It's really, really, really hacked together really quickly on the party. Like before the party, I did have a scene with a few objects and the entire rendering pipeline, but it wasn't synchronized to music, so we had to synchronize it to music on the basically on the party place. And yeah, this was also an adventure. So let me try to show you how it's done. Basically, it obviously, if you've been watching like what I was doing for the past year, it's heavily using the same rendering pipeline as my previous intros, as the pipeline that I was building for the assembly entry last year. So it's it's physically based shading plus reflections plus depth of field, and yeah, basically the same. Как делается подобное отражение, что фонари на стене отражаются на металле? Это физически корректное. Там есть два момента. Если вот про желтые вот эти штуки, это просто типа отражение, и да, они не считаются как освещение, они нечестные, они не считаются как освещение. Если про вот эту белую большую источник света, это считается как освещение физически корректное причем. Вот. I also plan to make a final version of this thing because it kind of interesting. It's also like kind of obvious what this is based on. People did recognize a lot of similarities and made the comments. So if you can guess, it's like it's good. Okay, so I made a lot of changes to the tool that I'm using to build this. So basically there is this intro approach thing. Okay, let me actually like make the tool, I think. Okay, I probably need to git some module update in it. Okay, and now I can make it. Okay, I will make it later, but now I can show you that the tool now accepts reads the intro approach file, which contains the raw audio for the intro that is generated by Forklang, like offline before the intro. I completely removed my own sound engine from this thing because it's not ready for doing anything interesting, so we are working with Forklang now. And it also contains the scene description. These intros contain only single scene, but it's supposed to have many scenes that can be interchangeable. Yeah, and it also contains this variables thing, which is wars. 28 wars, which is like a series of like variable type name, time detalization, and values per bit. It's really similar to my previous intros like map, but it's more like per variable, not like timeline for the entire thing. So these values just get written as floats, and there's a lot of space for this, and it kind of not really convenient to work with, at least for some things that we tried to do. So I will be working on improving that next. But yeah, this is the timeline for the intro, like camera position, camera directions, camera up vector to make it like rotate. I forgot the word, like yaw pitch roll or something, like is it like roll? Focus distance, focus aperture to control the DOF amount basically, these moving things are made by hand, and this is not convenient part. And yeah, so this this is one thing, and another thing is scene, which basically I made this programmable, kind of programmable rendering pipeline where I can specify textures that I create and their format and their sizes and their size divider. So, and then specify shaders and then specify render passes. So they render pass this. This is a full screen pass that use PRayMarch program that is loaded. This is made from header shader and RayMarch shader, and it renders into two textures like T-Ray primary and T-Ray reflection. And then there's second pass, which blurs the reflection, and then there's combination that combines the reflection with blurred reflection with the primary ray, and then basically this is the same thing that I was working last year, just made it as a programmable thing. I didn't make actually I didn't make any use of this. I expected like to tweak things a bit, add some rendering stages or remove and experiment with things, but I didn't I didn't have the time to do that, so it's like the same thing. Okay, and then it's usual like shader thing. So RayMarch shader is the shader that FGLSL. So as you can see, these functions are basically copied from the Mercury HG SDF, I think it's called. Why is it Yandex? What the hell? Whatever, like this thing, which contains a lot of useful functions. I just tried to use it and found some functions for me useful, but I basically can't use it as is because I need to shader minify it. And yeah, so I just copied a few functions that I ended up using. So there's that. And then you probably seen a lot of parts of this shader. Yeah, list of materials and just the regular shader crap, RayMarching, and yeah, you have seen this. I showed you. Basically, I streamed the development of this shader, just not this with this geometry. This geometry itself, but is not really interesting, like streamable how it's made. And yeah, the main thing that you can with my tool right now, I can use it like this. So whenever I made shader, I can, and I need somewhere to change values of some variables based on time, or I need to tweak them really quickly with MIDI input or something, I can just write this thing with $signs and parentheses and type and name of variable, and then this variable will be automatically read from the vars file. So this lpos thing is this thing, and another funny thing that the tool actually exports. So in order to build the intro, you need to export necessary shaders and these variable stuff from the tool. So you press E key on when in tool, and it writes a header file with these values from this file, and it also writes GLSL file. So this is why it's called like Raymarch shader, because it will actually write Raymarch shader GLSL file, and it will automatically replace these things with sampling actual uniforms. And if the variable has only one value in the table, it will replace it with the direct value here. So you can see, okay, this is the point where I should start the tool. So yeah, it compiled the tool and now it's building the music. It will take a couple of minutes and then it will run the tool. It's getting boring. Okay, I should probably need to make, yeah. So this is the tool. They really need to make music quieter, like this probably, and yeah. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me, and so yeah, probably make it like this, and like this. Okay, for some reason it's really slow here. It's not slow that you're seeing, like it's still, you're seeing like 10 frames per second. I see like 30. So yeah, I can grab camera and look at it, and so now the door should open. I can return to the camera path, I can grab camera again and return back. Okay, something. Okay, my camera tool broke. Okay. This is new. This has never happened before. Okay, I can pause things, I can like rewind back, rewind to any position. I can also make like looping. So now it will loop between these bars. So I can work on these and just change variables. For example, what should I change? I have no idea. Anyway, this is just how it was made, and okay, and now camera works. I can. Okay, let me. Ah, I see what happened. Okay, so this this thing why I can't take camera here, because actually for this time position it's actually forced in the shader here. So for this time, at the end of the intro, camera is actually forcibly positioned by the shader itself, so it doesn't read the right value from input from the variables. Okay, so I've been streaming, I think it was like more than 3 hours, and it's difficult to talk for me, so I think I should be finishing this thing. And yeah, I can obviously exit the tool. Расскажи, пожалуйста, как ты отлаживаешь шейдеры. Ну вот сидишь просто и ковыряешь их. То есть попробовал так, как выглядит, нет, не похоже, похоже. Если нужно узнать какое-то конкретное значение, выводишь его каким-нибудь хитрым способом, типа там, не знаю, кодируешь цвет как-нибудь. Но такое бывает крайне редко. У меня есть мысль сделать отладочную штуку, где я нажимаю определенную клавишу и могу водить вокруг пикселей и видеть значения, конкретные значения пикселей под мышкой. В самих шейдерах, естественно, дебага нету. Malers, thank you for following. Вот, то есть каких-то отладчика нет, никаких специальных техник нет, потому что, ну, как-то я совсем таких ошибок в шейдерах вроде не делаю, и если мне нужно что-то посмотреть, что-то крайне редко бывает такое. Вот. So the question was, how do I debug shaders? And the answer is I basically don't. I just made some tweaks to be able to see like variable values. Basically, I can't trace shader like using debugger, like step in, step out, and stuff like this, like sample variable values. If I need to look at some variable, I just made something that outputs its value using like color code or something. Like usually it ends up like if this variable at this point in time, is it less than this value or larger than this value? And then like it's color coded into like black or red or something like this. And this first, this happens really rarely, and second, it's enough for most purposes. I do have a thing where I want my tool to be able to like press some key and then hover the mouse over pixels, and these pixels could have and show the value of these pixels, and then it will make debugging easier. But I need this so rarely, so I don't even think that I will implement it ever. Сергей, привет. Почему все демки такие размытые? Почему в демках нет такого качества, как и в играх? Ну, не очень понятно, почему, что именно размытая. Моя конкретно демка размытая, потому что она не вылизана. То есть там много размытости, которая просто типа осталась от отладки глубины, и там есть над чем работать. В основном как бы демки почему не такого качества, как в играх? Ну, это было не так, наверное, в 90-х. В 90-х демки выглядели круче, чем игры, сильно. А сейчас просто, ну, блин, игра — это AAA игра какая-нибудь, это... не знаю, тысячи людей, миллионы долларов, гигантские бюджеты, крутые специалисты. Демки делают там в лучшем случае типа 10 человек, а зачастую просто в одну каску. Ну, то есть разный уровень вложений труда, времени и всего прочего. So the question was, why do demos look... I'm rephrasing a bit here. So why demos look worse than games? And basically the answer is that games have a lot of effort put into them, like orders of magnitude more than demos. Demos are like sometimes demos are made by a single individual, and like it's weird to compare it with AAA games with a lot of like $1 million of budgets or something. 402 V60 Kio 8V спрашивает, существует готовая SDF-функция для создания ступенек лестниц? И да, и нет. есть вот такая функция. So the question was, is there a SDF function for making stairs? And the reply is yes and kind of no, because there's this function which makes stairs out of union of two objects, and it can be shown, like its behavior can be shown here. It's like this or like this or like this. So this function requires two objects intersecting or touching or something like this. And I didn't even try to work on something like this, so I don't know. I think it can be done like even with this function or something like this, just in the air without requiring some objects. But yeah. Ну, то есть, да, то есть есть вот такая штука, из нее, может быть, можно построить штуку для лестницы в воздухе. Я думаю, да, я думаю, можно. Но готовой я не видел, потому что у меня не было такой задачи. Я не думал на эту тему. Okay, I think I will be finishing now because I'm really too tired and yeah, I need to go to sleep. And so yeah, it was... How do I shot web? Привет. Погодные эффекты, облака, молнии. Я буду показывать, я, может быть, буду делать финалку 4К с атмосферным растением, и так буду подробнее расскажу про то, как это сделано и как это считается, но там облака там есть и будут, а вот молнии, я думаю, что я не буду делать. Самое сложное в кодинге графики. Там есть куча нерешенных проблем. Global Illumination не решен, просто типа не решен. Вот. И привет всем тамошним. В общем, да, я думаю, я буду заканчивать. Я просто выключаюсь уже. So yeah, this is it for my revision summary of my revision works. There's still a lot to say, like about the party, about the people there, and all the fun that I didn't have because I was busy programming my entries. I really hope that I will be able to talk to a lot more people there, and yeah, but this will be next time. Anyway, следующий стрим может быть в четверг, в следующий, что-нибудь такое. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that it was interesting to watch and that you had great time. And yeah, sorry, I'm just too sleepy. Anyway, I do try to stream every Thursday, but as you can see, like it doesn't really happen that consistent. Привет, Жрун. Спасибо. Anyway, yeah, I really should go. Thank you, спасибо, and see you next time. Bye.